Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you for taking the time to join me today. Our topic of discussion is one that transcends boundaries of age, profession, and background. It's a principle that challenges us to rethink how we approach life's inevitable misunderstandings. The theme of today's speech is don't waste your time with explanations. At first glance, this phrase might appear harsh, dismissive, or even counterproductive. After all, isn't communication the cornerstone of human connection? Isn't explaining ourselves vital to clearing up confusion, expressing our feelings, or fostering understanding? While these points have merit, the deeper essence of this statement lies in recognizing when explanations are meaningful and when they are a drain on our most precious resource, time. Allow me to begin by framing this principle through a lens of practicality and empowerment. The truth is, life is finite. Each one of us has only 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week, and if we're fortunate, a few decades to live, grow, and leave a legacy. With time being our most valuable asset, how we choose to spend it determines the trajectory of our lives. And yet we often find ourselves squandering this resource trying to justify our actions, decisions, or beliefs to people who are either uninterested, unwilling, or incapable of understanding them. Today, I want to take you on a journey. We will explore the philosophy behind don't waste your time with explanations. Examine how it applies to personal growth, professional success, and interpersonal relationships, and learn actionable strategies to embrace this mindset while maintaining authenticity and compassion. The phrase, don't waste your time with explanations, can be traced back to thinkers and doers across history, echoes sentiments found in Stoicism, a school of thought that emphasizes control over one's own actions and emotions rather than external circumstances. As Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea challenges us to understand that no amount of explanation can change the mind of someone who is not open to change. Similarly, those who misunderstand you are often determined to do so, regardless of how thoroughly or eloquently you explain yourself. The author Paulo Coelho encapsulated this beautifully when he said, "Don't waste your time with explanations. People only hear what they want to hear." This is a liberating concept. It tells us that our energy is better spent on living authentically rather than defending our authenticity. But why is this so difficult to put into practice? Why do we feel compelled to explain ourselves in the first place? The answer lies in our inherent need for approval. Humans are social beings. We crave acceptance, understanding, and connection. When faced with criticism, rejection, or doubt, our instinct is to bridge the gap with words that we hope will justify our actions and validate our intentions. While this instinct is natural, it often leads to frustration. Why? Because explanations don't always lead to understanding, and understanding doesn't always lead to agreement. The more we try to explain, the more we risk becoming entangled in a cycle of defensiveness and self-doubt. To embrace the principle of not wasting time with explanations, it's crucial to recognize when explanations are indeed a waste. Let me outline a few scenarios. There are people who have already made up their minds about you or your actions. Their opinions are rooted in bias, preconceived notions, or a lack of willingness to see another perspective. Explaining yourself to such individuals is like pouring water into a sealed jar. It doesn't reach its destination. Not every decision or action requires a justification. For example, do you really need to explain to others why you chose a particular career path, lifestyle, or personal preference? The answer is often no. Your life choices belong to you, not to the court of public opinion. Over-explaining can be a sign of insecurity. The more we try to justify ourselves, the more we signal that we need external validation to feel secure in our choices. This weakens our confidence and places our self-worth in the hands of others. Every moment spent explaining yourself is a moment taken away from pursuing your goals, nurturing meaningful relationships, or engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. The opportunity cost of unnecessary explanations is often far greater than we realize. So what's the alternative to wasting time on explanations? The answer lies in cultivating silent confidence. Silent confidence is the ability to stand firm in your beliefs, actions, and decisions without feeling the need to seek approval or justify yourself. It's a quiet strength that speaks volumes without uttering a word. Silent confidence is not arrogance. It's not about dismissing others or refusing to engage in meaningful dialogue. Rather, it's about knowing your worth and understanding that you don't need to explain your existence or choices to everyone. One of the most powerful examples of silent confidence can be found in the story of Mahatma Gandhi. When criticized or misunderstood, Gandhi often responded with calmness and composure. He focused on living by example rather than defending his philosophy. His actions spoke louder than any explanation ever could. Now that we've explored the philosophy and power of this principle, let's dive into how we can apply it in practical terms. Learn to distinguish between constructive feedback and unnecessary criticism. While constructive feedback can help you grow, unnecessary criticism often stems from other people's insecurities or biases. Set boundaries to protect your time and energy from the latter. Instead of explaining yourself, let your actions demonstrate your intentions and values. Results often speak louder than words, and actions are harder to misinterpret than explanations. Not every misunderstanding requires your intervention. Evaluate whether explaining yourself will lead to a productive outcome. If not, it's okay to let it go. The more you accept yourself, the less you'll feel the need to explain yourself to others. Self-acceptance frees you from the burden of seeking external validation. Mindfulness helps you stay present and grounded, reducing the urge to react impulsively to criticism or misunderstanding. Instead of rushing to explain, take a moment to reflect on whether an explanation is necessary. At this point, you might be wondering, does this principle mean we should never explain ourselves? The answer is no. There are situations where explanations are not only appropriate but necessary. For example, in close relationships, open communication is essential to building trust and understanding. Similarly, in professional settings, clarity and accountability often require explanations. The key is balance. While it's important to avoid wasting time on unnecessary explanations, it's equally important to approach genuine misunderstandings with empathy and compassion. The goal is not to shut people out, but to prioritize meaningful interactions over futile justifications. Ladies and gentlemen, as I draw this speech to a close, I want to leave you with a simple yet profound reminder: your time and energy are precious. How you choose to spend them shapes the quality of your life. Don't squander them trying to win the approval of those who don't matter or change the minds of those who refuse to see. Instead, focus on living authentically, embracing your journey, and letting your actions speak for themselves. Remember, you are not obligated to explain yourself to everyone. You are not a book that needs to be read or a puzzle that needs to be solved. You are a unique individual, and your worth is not defined by how well you can justify yourself to others. So the next time you find yourself tempted to waste time with explanations, pause and ask yourself, is this truly necessary? If the answer is no, let it go. Thank you, and may we all learn to protect our time, nurture our confidence, and live unapologetically.